Good morning. I'd like to welcome alumni, faculty, students, and friends to my annual State of the College address. I'm especially pleased to be speaking to you this morning in this newly dedicated Eleanor Theodore Lecture Hall. If you were here for the dedication earlier, you heard all about Eleanor, who was a member of the class of 1952. And in naming this hall, she has left an indelible mark on the College of Law, and we are grateful for her extraordinary generosity, and above all, we're inspired by her extraordinary life. I'm now in my second 5-year term as dean of this great law school, and since I've been dean, our faculty, staff, and alumni have steadfastly focused on implementing our strategic vision for a 21st century legal education. As we continue to adapt our legal education to the challenges and necessities of the 21st century, at the same time, we remain rooted in the strong tradition of excellence and innovation that has launched more than 11,000 extraordinary careers over more than 125 years. It's critical that the College of Law focus on excellence and innovation now as we face a future of enormous disruption and global change, including climate change and human security, justice for communities of color, the largest armed conflict in Europe since World War II and the attendant supply chain and global trade issues, respect for the rule of law and democracy, both abroad and at home, and technological advances such as artificial intelligence and drones. But as I told our newest students at opening convocation a few weeks ago, we will give them a head start on understanding and finding the opportunity in these challenges because our faculty are leading experts in these and many other legal fields. I promise them that these issues and the way they shape and will be shaped by the law will come alive for them in the classroom. And I pledge that we will prepare them to practice law in the decades to come by ensuring they have the knowledge and skills they will need to launch and shape their own legal careers. That is our commitment to them because we know that's why they're here. Legal education itself is also facing a raft of challenges and some key potential changes ahead. Law school applications continue to be anemic. They were down nationally by 15% last year, and with LSAT test takers down 25% so far, we expect another decline for the admission cycle for next fall. As a member of the ABA Council of the Section for Legal Education and Admissions to the Bar, I'm involved in revising accreditation standards, and I believe that we will see online learning opportunities expanded as the Council reconsiders current restrictions on online coursework. The Council also may decide that admission to law school will no longer require an LSAT score. So we'll need to reconsider how we evaluate applicants' likely success in law school. The law school class that matriculates next fall will be the first to sit for the new next-gen bar exam that will reward skills and analysis rather than memorization. And we'll need to adapt our curriculum to ensure we're preparing our students to clear that final barrier to practice. New paths to licensure itself may eliminate a bar exam altogether in some states that are considering alternative paths to practice. And across all of higher education, the Supreme Court's review of affirmative action this term is likely to have a major impact on admissions processes nationwide. And we'll hear more about that this afternoon from our provost, who will be a panelist in our 2022 Supreme Court preview. Legal education is not static, but the good news is that we're not either, and we'll continue to adapt and innovate to ensure our continued success. And I do mean continued success. So let me share just a few highlights from last academic year. In May, the first cohort of students in our groundbreaking JDI program graduated alongside their residential JD peers in May. From across the country and around the world, these new grads successfully studied with us year-round for more than 3 years while balancing full-time work and family obligations. They are incredibly talented and motivated, and I'm honored to count them among our Syracuse University College of Law alumni family. Success also encompasses bar performance, and we're investing heavily in our graduates' bar preparation. In yet another national first, The College of Law has partnered with Access Lex to provide to our students free of charge to them the Helix Bar Review course, which leverages insights from learning science to drive bar exam success. So for the first time this summer, no College of Law student had to sit for the July bar without the benefit of a comprehensive prep program. We've also added a new Assistant Director of Academic and Bar Support to augment the efforts of our Director, Kelly Curtis, and rest assured we will continue to invest resources in this important area. In my tenure here as Dean, one of my highest priorities has been to foster a learning community that celebrates the diversity of its members, because understanding and respecting multiple points of views and different life experiences is an essential element of legal training. Last year was a banner year for diversity. 37% of entering students identified as of color, up from 28% the year before. And this summer, the College of Law held the first summer residency of our Orange Advanced Pipeline program here in Dineen Hall. Thanks to a grant from Access Lex, 21 undergraduate students interested in law school from Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse College, and Spelman College traveled to Syracuse to learn about the legal profession and how to prepare for law school. They heard from College of Law faculty and administrators on the rigors of law school, the various legal career path options, and how to best prepare for the LSAT. I'm really proud of this unique Orange Advanced program because it has the propensity to move the needle on diversity in our profession. And here's one final highlight of last year. Since 2017, SU has had the privilege of being one of just 16 universities to partner with the Pat Tillman Foundation. This year, 4 SU students were awarded Tillman scholarships. That's the most that the university has ever had. But the great news is that 3 of the 4 Tillman scholars are College of Law students, and they're all in our JDI program. Marine Corps veteran Natasha De Leon, Navy veteran Amanda Higginson, and Army veteran William Riley. Congratulations to Natasha, Amanda, and William, and thank you for your service. Our momentum continues into this new academic year and another strong entering class. As I've done in each of my years as dean, let me give you a 30,000-foot view of this new class. And by the way, this year's combined JD class, we have set a new bar for entering class credentials. For the second year in a row, we have maintained a median LSAT of 157. That's up from 154 when I arrived. While at the same time, we've significantly improved our median GPA scores over last year's. In fact, our entering class credentials over the last few years are a success story in and of themselves. Just take a look at the trajectory of our median LSAT and median GPA numbers over the last 6 years. For these impressive gains, we owe a great deal to our Assistant Dean of Enrollment Management, Danae Page, and her terrific team. But returning to this year's entering class, we welcome 244 JD students to the college, including 145 students in our residential JD program, 97 students in the JDI program, and 2 students in our 2-year JD program for foreign trained lawyers. And in case you're doing the math, yes, 40% of our students are in the JDI program. The program is booming, with applications growing from 200 in our first year, 2019, to nearly 900 applications for this fall's class. 32% of our entering class identify as students of color this year. 25 are active duty or veterans, and many more are the spouses, partners, and family of military members or veterans. And together, our incoming students bring extraordinary academic achievements to our community. 47 of these students hold higher degrees, including master's degrees in business, education, and nursing, as well as 4 PhDs, 1 doctorate of nursing, and 4 MDs. Our JD students hail from 33 states and 10 nations. Truly an international class. And in our explicitly international programs, we welcome 25 new LLM and SJD students from 10 different countries. Whether in our LLM and SJD programs, our visiting scholar programs, or as we've seen our JD program, we're fortunate to welcome scholars from all over the world. Their presence here and among our alumni ranks adds a variety of perspectives that can only be achieved through a diverse student body. They remind us of the plurality of legal systems around the globe and of the importance of preserving the rule of law from those who would undermine it, both here and abroad. Of course, at the heart of what we do at the law school are my remarkable faculty colleagues. As these next slides illustrate, our faculty members are visible and influential as cutting-edge scholars, media commentators, and experts, as well as beloved teachers. Over the past 6 years, we've worked hard to shine a bright light on the thought leadership in our faculty, encouraging, supporting, and promoting their research, publishing, blog posts, and media commentary. Last year, our faculty published 5 new books, which brings the total number of faculty books written, co-written, or edited since 2016 to nearly 50. And in terms of law review articles, the traditional output of law faculty, several top 50 law journals accepted or published our faculty's articles in the past year, addressing topics in criminal justice reform, cybersecurity, disability law, and elder law, among others. So sought after now is our expertise that in the past year, our faculty appeared in more than 1,100 news outlets. They brought a measured and thoughtful perspective to sometimes noisy debates, most notably in matters of the rule of law and the law of war, Supreme Court ethics, and of course, Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health. And this has also boosted our academic reputation. And our faculty are being recognized for their excellence in teaching, research, and service. So I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Cora True Frost on being selected as Fulbright Scholar for her research on European tribunals and international disability law, and David Dreesen, who's also selected as a Fulbright Scholar for his research on the impact of carbon pricing. Lauren Golden was named Emeritus Professor by the university, recognizing her excellence in teaching. The prestigious Laura J. and L. Douglas Meredith Professorship is one of the highest teaching honors bestowed by the university. Great teaching is the cornerstone of our law students' legal education experience, and we have a strong contingent of our faculty, our teaching professors, whose singular focus is on sharing knowledge in the classroom. Law students may or may not have the perspective to appreciate great legal scholarship, but without exception, they appreciate the faculty members who teach them and help them wrestle with and ultimately master the complex and difficult subject matter that is legal study. I've yet to meet an alumnus of this college who is not grateful for one, two, or several faculty members who had an outsized influence on their experience here, connecting them with a career opportunity, helping them hone a particular skill, or just being an encouraging mentor. So let me say a heartfelt thank you to all of my faculty colleagues for all that you do day in and day out to educate and guide our students. In the strategic planning process in my first year at the college, we identified 4 centers of excellence that distinguish us from the other 200 plus law schools in the country. And in the subsequent 6 years, we focused on strengthening those areas of differentiation. No law school has the resources to be all things to all people, but by focusing our efforts and attention on areas of distinctive excellence, we can and we do deliver extraordinary outcomes. So I'm going to talk about the state of those 4 centers of excellence. And for each of them, I'm also going to share the story of an alumnus or student whose career path reflects the extraordinary outcomes that we produce year after year. The College of Law, of course, has long been known for our extraordinary advocacy program, founded by Travis H.D. Lewin and now led by Professor Todd Berger, a true innovator himself. With the help of an army of alumni volunteers last year, we launched a first-of-its-kind trial competition, the National Trial League. Unlike traditional trial competitions, which are typically long and involved, the National Trial League features an entire season of shorter matches conducted virtually using shorter fact patterns, with winning teams advancing to the playoffs and then a championship, just like a typical sports league. The goal is to give students more experience across a broader set of issues. Bi-weekly matches are held each Tuesday, that being the day of matches in European soccer and Champions League. And in our first season, 12 of the best advocacy programs from around the country competed in the league. And I'm happy to say that this season is already underway. Among the many thousands of students who have benefited from the Trial and Advocacy Program over the years is Stacy Dennis Taylor. Hers is a name you'll hear often this weekend, as Stacy will receive the Black Law Student Association's William Herbert Johnson Legacy Award at our Alumni of Color Award ceremony on Saturday evening. A lifetime Syracuse resident, Stacy is a member of what is now the Advocacy Honor Society when she was in law school and was president of the Black Law Students Association. After graduation, Stacy took the skills that she developed through AHS and applied them in her work as a family court mediator with New Justice Conflict Resolution Services, where she mediated custody and visitation disputes. In 2018, Stacy joined the Onondaga County DA's office as an assistant DA, and until recently, she was a member of the Special Victims Bureau, where she prosecuted cases involving domestic violence, child abuse, and sexual assault. She now serves as the Municipal Courts Bureau Chief. Stacy has been recognized as one of Central New York's 40 under 40 for her commitment to advocating for vulnerable and underserved members of our community. She serves on a number of boards, including the College of Law's SULA Board and the Onondaga County Bar Association Board. Stacy is just one example of the extraordinary outcomes produced by our Trial and Advocacy Program, a center of excellence for the college. A second center of excellence is the college's disability law program, and that's reflected in the work of the Disability Law and Policy Program and the Burton Blatt Institute. This evening, Professor Arlene Cantor, Director of Disability Law and Policy, will receive a Law Honors Award for her 34 years of service at the college and her groundbreaking work as a world-renowned expert in disability law. Professor Cantor has materially influenced our law school's offerings in international and comparative disability law. She's developed curricular courses, built a clinic, and the first of its kind joint degree program in law and disability studies in partnership with the University School of Education. And most significantly, Arlene created our Disability Law and Policy Program, the nation's most extensive program in the field. For a fourth consecutive time, the Burton Blatt Institute has been awarded a 5-year, $6.2 million grant to advance and support understanding of rights and responsibilities under the Americans with Disabilities Act through the Southeast ADA Center. Most importantly, our expertise in disability law has over the years produced extraordinary lawyers. Kurt Wayberg is one such lawyer. Despite significant disabilities, including blindness from an early age, Kurt, a College of Law 2020 Law Honors awardee, was raised to believe that he was entitled to participate alongside his non-disabled peers and to be integrated into the community. He was drawn to the College of Law because of our Disability Law and Policy Program. In 2011, Kurt joined Disability Rights Pennsylvania, where he achieved a significant victory in a federal lawsuit against the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services on behalf of 3 children with autism spectrum disorder. He negotiated a court-approved settlement that required the department to provide treatment for some 40,000 children in the state, and that required the state of Pennsylvania to revise its medical necessity guidelines. In 2019, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney appointed Kurt the executive director of the mayor's office for people with disabilities. And now Kurt is a civil rights attorney for the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights. He is just one example of the extraordinary outcomes produced by our disability programs, a center of excellence for the college. For more than 2 decades, the College of Law's, and I see that Kurt is here this morning. Kurt, it's good to see you. For more than 2 decades, the College of Law's Innovation Law Center has prepared law students to work in tech-related industries, including those in the emerging medical, pharmaceutical, robotics, computing, and manufacturing fields, by combining academics with real-world practical experience. The ILC is New York State's only designated science and law technology center, and it provides research, information, and advisory and support services to more than 30 universities and research centers in New York, as well as to entrepreneurs and companies in the state seeking to commercialize new technologies. Founded by the late Professor Ted Hagelin and now led by Brian Gerling, himself a College of Law alum who studied with Ted, the center continues to innovate. A few months ago, in partnership with the Whitman School of Management, we announced a new Certificate of Advanced Study in Technology, Law, and Entrepreneurship, otherwise known as CASEL, that will better equip students to begin careers at the intersection of law, business management, and technology. Last year, the ILC more than doubled its student enrollment to nearly 30 students, employed about a dozen student researchers, and worked to assist more than 60 companies. The ILC also serves as a tech transfer office for Clarkson and Alfred universities and the Pratt Institute, and there will be additional partnerships with colleges and universities in the near future, so stay tuned. For Darren Carroll, the Innovation Law Center was the gateway to a successful career involving highly complex licensing and outsourcing transactions, mergers and acquisitions, and commercial matters related to technology companies. Darren received his bachelor's degree in political science from Syracuse University, an MPA from the Maxwell School, and his law degree from the College of Law, where he was a member of the Law Review. Darren completed a 22-year career with Eli Lilly and Company. As Senior Vice President of Corporate Business Development, he was responsible for all strategic transactions at Lilly, reorganizing and leading the company's venture capital operations, forming Lilly Ventures, and founding and leading Lilly Asia Ventures in Shanghai. Darren is now managing partner of Polaris Partners, one of the foremost U.S. venture capital firms in the healthcare and biotech space. He represents Polaris on the boards of Nema Pharma, Tessa Therapeutics, and August Bioservices. Darren is just one example of the extraordinary outcomes produced by the ILC, a center of excellence for the college. The mission of our fourth Center of Excellence, the Institute for Security Policy and Law, is to educate and inspire the next generation of national security practitioners. ISPL now counts 800 alumni in positions across a broad array of government and military intelligence and security organizations, second only to Georgetown. Later this morning, many of you will attend a plenary session of our Law Review Symposium in partnership with ISPL that will focus on lessons learned and perspectives on law and policy from the Ukrainian war. Most recently, ISPL's director, Judge Jamie Baker, has been establishing partnerships and exchange programs with universities and civil society organizations in critical countries that surround the eastern flank of NATO on the edge of Russia to reinforce the connection between law and security. Through this Ring Around Russia initiative, ISPL will offer exchange opportunities to Eastern European scholars and practitioners to study and develop best practices and ideas appropriate and relevant to each country's circumstances. Under the Institute's leadership, SU has been designated a United States Intelligence Community Center for Academic Excellence, or ICCAE. This is a highly competitive program funded by the U.S. Office of the Director of National Intelligence, and it partners with universities to increase the diversity of the U.S. intelligence workforce. One of the students who has been named an ICCAE scholar is Megan Steenberg, currently a 3L in our JDI program. This spring and summer, Megan pursued her goal of practicing intelligence law by externing in the Office of General Counsel at the Defense Intelligence Agency. During her time there, she completed more than 50 classified legal reviews under the supervision of attorneys, and she wrote a policy paper that leadership refers to as seminal and having an immediate mission impact. Megan is pleased to report that she received and has accepted a job offer to return to the Defense Intelligence Agency as a law clerk and, following bar passage, as an assistant general counsel. Megan says unequivocally that the leadership and commitment of Judge Jamie Baker to inspire national security lawyers through real-world studies and time-sensitive applications enabled her to contribute on day one and to have the confidence to do so. Megan is just one example of the extraordinary outcomes produced by the Institute for Security Law and Policy, a center of excellence for the college. Speaking of externships, The substantive and geographical breadth of our externship program is another differentiator for students who choose Syracuse Law. Whether over a single semester or for their entire third year, our Orange Flex externship program now allows students to gain hands-on exposure to a career in law, develop practical experience, grow their reputation and professional networks in the field and city of their choice, and build connections that will help them excel professionally after they graduate. Last year, with the help of our alumni, the Office of Career Services placed 165 students, including 73 JDI students, in externships in 31 states, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Dubai. Our students worked in judicial chambers, private law firms, and government agencies, including the New York Office of the Attorney General, the U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Justice Disability Rights Section, and the Syracuse City Corporation Council, and in corporate settings such as in the Upstate Medical University's Office of General Counsel. This year, our Office of Career Services is poised to place 200 students in externships. Many of them are made possible by our remarkable Orange network of alumni. And to those of you who host our graduates as externs, we're deeply grateful. And to those of you who have not done so yet, there are 200 opportunities to be included on our roster of externship placement sites. As I come to the end of my remarks, let me briefly address the college's fiscal situation. Many of you will recall that the college ran budget deficits of several $million in years going back to the Great Recession. Since my first budget for the 2017 fiscal year, we've erased those deficits through both strategic cost-cutting and revenue from JD Interactive and our LLM and SJD programs. So as this slide reflects, I'm pleased to report that the fiscal state of the college is sound. Remaining fiscally sound will not be easy. As I mentioned earlier, we project another significant decline this year in applications for next year's class. However, with your support, we're confident that we can do it. Indeed, giving from our alumni and friends is stronger than ever, and that support has already been instrumental to our fiscal situation. I'm proud to say that in fiscal year 2022, we raised $6.2 million from more than 1,600 donors, exceeding our annual fundraising goal as part of the Forever Orange campaign by 40%. I'm proud to count among our generous donors members of our board of advisors, members of our SULA board, as well as College of Law faculty members. I'm deeply grateful to everyone who gives to the college and has been a part of the success that we have logged. Strong financial giving results from having engaged alumni. Our alumni are mentoring students, lecturing and teaching courses, judging competitions, serving on advisory boards and committees, and participating in a range of other programming. They are in a unique position to see, experience, and engage with our mission, and they're willing to financially support what they see. In fact, one of the goals of the Syracuse Forever Orange campaign is to increase the engagement of our alumni. SU Central closely tracks this measure. So it shouldn't surprise you to learn that among all 12 SU schools and colleges, the College of Law has the highest rate of alumni engagement by a margin of more than 50%, with 32% of our alumni meaningfully engaged with us. That's really remarkable among 11,000 alumni. Thank you for the many ways that you support your alma mater and our students. It's your support that enables us to tell our students that we truly have a powerful network of more than 11,000 lawyers who bleed orange. Before I wrap up, I want to take a step back and reaffirm why we do what we do. And it's simple. We do it for our students. You, our powerful network of alumni, are key to this business. So let me bring this address to a close by reminding you of how you can show pride in your college, help our students, and amplify our reputation. We're now in the home stretch of the Forever Orange campaign, and as of June 30, we've raised more than $32 million, putting us at 86% of our $38 million goal with 2 years remaining. I'm deeply grateful for the leadership and hard work of our Assistant Dean of Advancement, Sophie Desjardins, and her team for making this outcome possible. And your gift to our campaign ensures that we continue the trajectory that we began together 6 years ago. that we attract the best and brightest and offer them appropriate financial aid to help make their career dreams a reality, that we support a faculty that meets the needs of students and advances the research and programs that are our hallmark, and that we have financial stability and flexibility now and into the future. Thank you for all you do for the college, and please continue to invest in our mission. If you'd like to know more about the Forever Orange campaign, come see me or talk to our Assistant Dean for Advancement, Sophie Desjardins. And do stay in touch. Read our annual publications, my monthly newsletter, the Dean's Dispatch. Through them, you'll always be aware of what's going on at the college and how you can be involved. At the outset of my remarks today, I noted the graduation in May of our inaugural class of JDI students, closing a circle that began in January of 2019. So let me leave the last words this morning to students in the JDI class of 2022. I hope they inspire you as much as they inspire me.
Honestly, without the JDI program, I never would have been able to kind of achieve my dream and go to law school.
I am a military spouse who lives overseas. When I took the LSAT and getting ready for law school, we were living in Japan, and we thought we would move back to the US, and instead we moved to Germany. So for me, that meant either I would leave my family for 3 years and go to a program, which I was not willing to do with a young child, or I would put it off that much further for the 4 years that we were to be in Germany. Instead, JDI made it so that I didn't have to make that choice.
I was a police officer for 16 years. I knew that I wanted to go to law school, but my career was very subject to change as far as my hours. If it wasn't for the flexibility of the JDI program, there's no way I could have completed law school.
We all arrived here in January for residency, and we stood outside a courthouse in a blizzard. And I think that's what really brought us together. You know, we got to experience Syracuse together for the first time.
Our first residency, we were individuals, and then the second residency, we came back more as a team and realized that each individual success is the entire program's success, especially in the JDI program.
We are taught by world-class professors who are leaders in their subjects and in their industries.
I think that the JDI program has prepared me for my future as well as my career by not only helping me develop my legal skill set and knowledge, but also making me feel more comfortable in different environments and situations.
I feel like the possibilities are open and almost endless for what I can do with this degree.
I was very lucky in that I was able to get an externship at my employer's office, my current employer here in Syracuse. So it was nice because I was able to maintain my professional commitments as well as my externship commitments.
I'd 100% recommend the JDI Law program at Syracuse University to prospective students. It's been an amazing experience for myself. It's fulfilled a dream of mine, and I highly recommend it to anyone that's considering it.
We don't have a JDI degree, we have a Syracuse degree. We worked for it, we earned it. I feel proud and I feel accomplished.
It feels great to be a Syracuse Law alum.
It just feels incredible. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something, and now I'm a part of a community.
I am proud to be a Syracuse Law alum.
It feels great. It feels amazing. I don't get excited about a lot of things, but I'm pretty excited.
It feels great. I'm excited to be an SU alum.
Don't forget, we have plenty of exciting events coming up later today and tomorrow, so stay with us. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to visit with you and come back to school.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you've done a really great job. I mean, I've been here when it was not